Okay, let's do another one here. These what I call plug and chug problems. Let's say we have x plus bracket 5 plus parentheses y plus u parentheses close bracket. Okay, so let's just fill it out. X is 2, so that's 2 plus bracket 5 plus y plus u. Y is negative 3 plus u, which is 5, just like this. And we'll work over here first. Negative 3 plus 5, answer is positive. 5 minus 3 is 2, so this is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7, so this entire thing here is 7. And then so this is going to just equal 2 plus 7, which is equal to 9. That's the answer. Let's say we have something like absolute value of 2x plus y, close absolute value, which is going to be absolute value 2 times x, which is 2, plus y, which is minus 3, close absolute value. This is simply 4. 4 plus a negative 3, answer is going to be positive. 4 minus 3 is 1, so this is a 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. That's the answer. Okay. Alright, almost done with this topic. Let's do one more big absolute value and then we'll call it done for this particular kind of problem. X plus z plus absolute value x plus y plus z. This is equal to absolute value of x, which is 2, plus z, which is negative 4, plus absolute value x, which is 2, plus y, which is minus 3, plus z, which is minus 4, close absolute value. Let's work inside of here first. Minus 2 plus minus 4. The bigger number is minus, so it's going to be minus. 4 minus 2 is 2, so that's a minus 2 in there. Inside here is the same thing. 2 plus a minus 3. The bigger number is negative, so it's going to be negative. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then if I add minus 1 plus the minus 4 over here, the answer to this is going to be negative, because negative plus negative is negative. 4 plus 1 is 5. So what I'm left with is the absolute value of negative 2 plus the absolute value of negative 5, which is simply equal to 2 plus 5, because these absolute values make them positive, which is simply equal to 7. Not too bad. Next we're going to do a slightly different kind of problem. Really all these problems are very similar. I'm just doing so many of them because I think it's important to reinforce it. But we're going to be doing some subtractions, which, as we've already learned, subtraction is just like the addition of a negative number. So let's take 8 minus 4. There's no trick here. 8 minus 4 is just equal to 4. I just want to start off with something easy because it sets the stage for what we're doing here. Now let's try something slightly different. Negative 8 minus 4. It looks almost exactly the same, except now instead of 8 minus 4, it's negative 8 minus 4. Well, subtraction is like the addition of a negative number, so I'm in this category up here. Negative 8 minus 4. I've already had something negative, and I'm going to subtract even more, so the answer is definitely going to be negative, because it's like I'm adding a negative number to a negative number. And then in order to get the number, I just add these together. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay. Now one more variation on this. Let's say I've got 8 minus a negative 4. Now this is actually really interesting and very important. I want to point this out. When you subtract a negative number, all you need to do is you can rewrite it as 8 plus 4. When you subtract a negative number, you can just put a cross there and a cross there. The two negatives end up canceling each other out. Think of it like when you in English when you say I don't never want to go there. Well, if you never want to go there, it means you don't want to go. But if you don't never want to go there, it means you do. So double negatives make things positive. So here I had a double negative. I had 8 minus a minus 4. Well, when I'm subtracting something that's already negative, it's the same thing as adding the positive. So this becomes 8 plus 4, which is equal to a positive 12. So notice how these all differ. I've just changed a few signs, but these answers are completely different, and you just need to be aware of that. Okay, let's do minus 12 minus 5. This is like adding a negative number, so it's like negative plus negative. Answer will always be negative. To get the answer, I just add the two numbers, 12 plus 5, 17. Answer is negative 17. That's it. You just need to be aware that when you subtract, like even in 3rd grade when you learned 3 minus 2, that was really the exact same thing as 3 plus a negative 2. And once you realize that it's the same thing, you can use these rules at the top to figure out what the final sign should be. Okay, let's try something pretty interesting, I think. 0 minus a minus 5. Well, anytime you have minus a minus, you can just go ahead and immediately put plus and a plus. So 0 plus positive 5 is simply going to be 5. Let's do something with a fraction. 5 thirds minus 7 sixths. Well, in order to do any kind of addition or subtraction, we need to first make the bottom number the same, and I can make this fraction have a bottom number of 6 by multiplying the top and the bottom by 2. So let's say 5 thirds times 2 over 2 minus 7 over 6 equals 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 7 over 6. I haven't even touched the second half of the problem. All I did was turn 5 thirds into 10 over 6, which makes it able to subtract. Now, I want to subtract them. I need to subtract 10 minus 7. 10 minus 7 is simply 3. You keep the bottom number, which is 6, so I'm left with 3 6. Now, of course, I can simplify this because 3 divided by 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this fraction is actually equal. Oops. Let's misprint there. Equal to 1/2. Okay. And after going through this video of all of these examples and working them all, and once you're comfortable that you understand the point, you should pull out your book and just work a lot of problems, because that's the only way you get good at it. And if you've noticed, I haven't really tried to lecture about the theory of this stuff. My goal is to work a ton of examples, and then hopefully that'll help. Okay, we'll just do a few more and then we'll be done with this section. 3 minus bracket minus 4 minus 3 close bracket. So we want to work with the inside first. Minus 4, which is negative, minus 3 is kind of like plus a negative 3, so it's negative plus a negative. Answer inside of here will be negative. To get the number, we just add them. 4 plus 3 is 7. So the answer in here is negative 7. So this is 3 minus, but inside here is a negative 7, so this is a negative 7 out here. Anytime I have a minus negative 7, I just say it's 3 plus 7, because I can go plus plus. 3 plus 7 is 10. And that's the answer. You've got to keep your signs straight. You've got to carry them down. You've got to not skip steps and work things in sequence. On your paper, when you're working your problems, do this exactly as I have done it here. Write it down, put a bracket, do this part of the addition, then rewrite the problem, rewrite the problem, rewrite the problem, and you'll never get lost. If you try to skip too many steps, you'll miss a sign and the entire problem will be wrong. Okay, let's say we've got 5 minus 3 plus 3 minus 5. Well, what's 5 minus 3? You know that from second grade. That's 2. 3 minus 5 is really the same thing, except it's negative 2. The reason it's negative 2 is because this is like 3 plus a negative 5. The bigger number is a negative, so the answer is going to be negative. And then because you have mixed signs, to get the actual number, you just subtract the number. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So now I've got a negative 2. Now, 2 plus a negative 2 is the same thing as 2 minus 2, which is 0. And that's the answer there. Now, I hope this has been helpful so far. We've got one more problem to do, which is going to be very similar to what we've done so far. And then we'll call this a day. And I highly recommend, before moving on in your course, just pull out a book and work as many problems as you can. It will really help. Let's say I have 5 minus 4 plus minus 2 minus 5. Okay. First thing to be aware of is, let's just rewrite this. 4 plus minus 2 is simply 4 minus 2. Plus negative is the same thing as negative. I can carry the 5 down. 4 minus 2 from kindergarten is 2. I'm going to carry down the negative 5. Okay. 2 minus a negative 5, correction, 2 minus 5 is like 2 plus a negative 5. So the answer to this is going to be a negative number. I'm subtracting more than I have. And then to get the actual number, I just take 5 minus 2 is 3. So I've got a minus 3 there. So carrying the whole problem down, 5 minus, and then what's inside here is negative 3, minus a negative 3 equals 5. When I have minus a negative, I can make it plus. Plus 3 is equal to 8. And that's the answer. That's all the problems we're going to do of this type today. I hope it's been useful. I haven't tried to really lecture too much on it. I feel like doing a lot of problems is going to be the key to understanding this stuff. And that's all on the topic of adding and subtracting real numbers.